Okay. No, we're not. No, we're not. I don't know. There's a yes and a no.
Testing.
No, no, no. Wait for the computer. The thing on. Why did you?
We are recording, so give us a second.
Okay.
No, no, that's Zell that owns La Siesta. La Siesta. Mine, they just planted new plants around the fence.
I got a pen that don't write.
Are you ready for me? Wait, y'all told me I was ready for me. It's on. That's what you guys
Okay.
Okay, you're good.
It happened. Yeah? All right, cool. Okay. Okay. This is the agenda budget hearing meeting for 6 o'clock PM, Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's the flag halfway hanging down.
Thank you.
Roll call.
No, that wasn't what I was. You. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs? Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Here.
Vice Mayor Morset?
Here.
Mayor Mohammed?
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public related to the agenda items or good and welfare? Nope. Okay. At least not at this time. I am gonna entertain a motion for a non-agenda item just to be added. This is the resolution for the building department. It was inadvertently not put on here for part of the budget consideration, so we need to add it on here, so it would be item 5.7. So, can I get a motion?
Motion to
Tentative
approve this?
To add 5.7 to the
Okay.
agenda.
mileage.
Motion to add 2023-021, right?
Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morset, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Oh,
thank-
Commissioner Jacobs. Commissioner Jacobs? Oh. 5-0.
Okay. With that, I'm going to do the budget presentation, and then afterward, we'll go through the resolutions.
Just press the button.
Testing. Oh, there we go. Okay. First of all, thank you for your time. My name is David Delina. I'm filling in just as the interim finance director. And this is budget season, right? This is what is happening all over the state of Florida. And Florida statute requires that we have a meeting. And the very first item in that budget has to be, we got to set the millage. Then the next item is we have to adopt a budget. And so staff, along with the Florida Department of Revenue, along with the property appraiser, we do this dance and we go back and forth. We file the appropriate paperwork when needed. And after tonight's meeting, you will see, as required by Florida statute, an advertisement in your local paper describing everything. And the Florida Department of Revenue will let us know how we did and so on and so forth. So each of these items I'm going to talk about. And I just put together a brief presentation, just an overview. And so you can see here on the left-hand side that, property values have increased, right? Since 2019, they've increased about 9%. That's what that change is. That's what that yellow line is that you see. That's the year-over-year percentage change. And the bottom there, that's how much we typically get in ad valorem revenue. If you go to the next slide, please. Next slide. All right. So this is our general fund. The general fund is funded, as you can see, about 61% of your funds come from ad valorem taxes. The rest come from local option gas tax, other fees, franchise fees, sales and use tax, but the lion's share of it is ad valorem tax. And this is common amongst most Florida local governments. You'll notice that I'm comparing FY24 to FY23 budget, and you'll see that that represents about a 1.6% increase. Now, here's the other thing too I want you to notice, that we didn't budget anything for grants, okay? As we, or if we get grant dollars in, right, we will let you know what projects they're going to be used in. And then at that moment there, we'll bring to the commission a budget amendment, okay? If we go to the next slide. Okay. A budget is a set amount not to expend, okay? We can go over those amounts if we do by fund, but we have to come before you and let you know why we're increasing the budget. But what you'll see here is, this right here is our total budget, $13.8 million. And this is how it's broken down. I broke it down into these groups. It better represents what we're spending the money on. And so there you can see about 44% includes compensation to your staff as well as related FRS, health insurance, and whatnot. That's about 44%. That's about right for a government this size. You'll see that a majority of your expenditures are in operating expenses, again, for the general fund. And you'll see that's at about 52%, right? You have a little bit of capital in there. You got a little bit of debt service. And then you have special projects. I pulled those out. Those are the community projects that you typically do, the lighting, fairs, or what have you, which is great for community building. If you go to the next slide. So now what I've done is I've taken those categories and now I broke it out by department. Okay, so here you can see the same 1.6% increase versus the prior year, right? You can also see that of all your general fund departments, about 57% of your expenditures are public safety, which again, across the state of Florida, that's pretty common. You do see that. And public safety includes fire as well as police. Now, you also have other costs that aren't necessarily attributed specifically to a department, and those are your overhead costs, which right now you're at about 10%, which that seems very normal. All these numbers here that you're about to see include an increase for the cost of living adjustments and merit increases for the employees, as well as the increase that the state of Florida sets for retirement contributions to the FRS. If we go to the next slide. All right, so what I did, all these other slides, you saw all of those departments. These right here are the individual departments. You'll notice up there, like at the top there, it says mayor and commission, and then the one below that is administration. This is kind of different this year, and here's why. We took out, and you'll see this later on in the next probably 3 slides, we took out some departments that were included in administration. For example, town clerk or HR. What we decided to do in 2024 was to pull those out to give us a little bit more insight into what those departments are doing. And so that's why you'll see, for example, the administration category for, you'll see that their budget dropped, right? You'll see, look at there on the bottom, it dropped by 58%, but those costs are captured in other departments, and you'll see that. And you'll also notice that, we took the administration side, that includes this year 2 positions, when in prior years it included 7 positions from those other departments. If we go to the next slide, please. So again, this is the finance and the legal. You'll see that, look what we did with legal. Historically, it's been an employee type of position here, right? But it looks like in 2024, we're planning on outsourcing that, which is typical for government this size. If you go to the next slide. And again, here's your planning department, your IT. You can see in the back, look at IT. Historically, IT, you've always outsourced that, but now you've brought that in-house, which in my opinion is a smart move. Things are getting a lot more complicated out there, and it's good to have control of that in-house. If you go to the next slide. Again, these two departments here, these right here were the two departments that we had in administration, and we broke those two out. And so you can see how many FTEs, or I'm sorry, positions that represents there on the right-hand side. If you go to the next slide. This is police and fire. If you'll notice, your fire, that's contracted out to the county. And police, you'll also notice contractual service. Look at the police. Contractual services was about $3.2 million, right? And now that's starting to go down as you ramp up your operating cost on the police side, since you've decided to bring that more in-house. The police, this budget here includes 23 positions right now. So, next slide, please. Roads and streets, that currently it's considered fully staffed, and it has about 4 positions. Code enforcement, same idea, not a lot of budget shifting there. Next slide, please. And this one here is Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation, we have a little bit more in projects. We increased the planned projects around, but this department here is considered fully staffed at 4 FTEs. Next slide, please. This right here is what in governmental accounting looks at is your fund balance. It's a barometer, if you will, okay? And so right now we have about, and this is estimated. Now, one of my roles here as the interim finance director is to get us caught up on our audits, okay? So I have the beginning year of 2021, that's an audited figure. The rest of the years are unaudited. Of course, 2023 we're still in, and so what staff is going to try to do is run those concurrently so we can clean up those right away. But right now we have some estimates here, but you can see that in your general fund you have about 6 months of reserves. If you go to the next slide, please. All right. So we're now out of the general fund, and if we go to the next slide, this is the building fund. Again, we estimate revenues based on the level of activity that we're seeing, and this includes remodeling or building and inspections and whatnot. And so right now that we increase that very conservatively, but that's at about 2.88%, nothing major. And you can see that a majority of your revenue in this department is from permits issued. If you go to the next slide, please. And again, we took that department, we broke it down by category, right? You want to keep on. And you'll notice here that in the building department that it's very labor intensive. Okay, and so you can see that compensation and related expenditures, that would be kind of on the higher end. And we have a little bit of capital for equipment needs. If we go to the next slide, please. So your building fund, this is how much you have in estimated reserves. I know what the 2021 number is, right? And so these right here are your estimated reserves. Now, we have to keep an eye on the reserve balance, because the state of Florida has specific rules that regulate that. So we do have to keep an eye on it, and staff will. We go to the next slide. Okay, the next one is the sewer fund. If we go to the next slide, please. Again, same idea. This department here, we had to increase the revenues, but the reason why so much of the increase in the revenues is to pull from reserves. The reason why is we have repairs and capital improvements that need to be done. A lot of local governments defer projects, which we know from history that just makes the project more expensive, right? I mean, right now we're in a unique environment where inflation cost is escalating. So we've decided that, you know what, we really need to hammer away. We need to get these projects done because in the future, they just cost us more dollars. And so that's what we did. If you go to the next slide. So if you look, you know, you have your compensation and benefits, which is normal. We have our contractual services, which is through an agreement with the county to treat our sewer. But the other thing too is we also increased capital. You can see there it was running about $200,000 to $300,000. $400,000 last year was budgeted, and so we need to bump that up to $600,000. Things are getting more expensive. Pumps, especially on this type of fund, deteriorate much more rapidly. And so that's staff's recommendation. If we go to the next slide. The sewer fund. Your sewer fund, this is the estimated fund balance. It's got a healthy fund balance, but again, we have 5-year capital projects that we have to get to, and every year we delay that, it just costs us more. Go to the next slide, please. Next one is our stormwater. Stormwater, same idea, okay? Same idea. This budget here increased pretty substantially, but that's because we're pulling money from reserves to tackle those capital projects. If you go to the next slide, and you can see there that we got over $2 million in scheduled capital projects that we have to get to. If we don't get to it now, it just gets more expensive. And you can see that the compensations, the operating expenditures are pretty stable. Insurance repairs and maintenance, we doubled that because as this system gets older, you know, you're going to have more repairs and maintenance. But the punchline here is definitely capital intensive. We go to the next slide. And this is their fund balance as well for that fund. Again, healthy, but we have pent up projects that need to get done. If we go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, so this is the summary, right? So what we've done is we've taken, I really probably, for your time's sake, I probably should have started with this slide and been done with it. But at the end of the day, it's a learning curve, right? And so here it is at the end of the day. So these are all your funds, okay? These are all your funds looking at all the expenditures. And you can see that overall, when we compare it to 2023, we've increased it about 5.2% across all funds. And you can see there on the bottom where the highs and lows are signified there. Overall, the budget is stable. There's an increase in employee costs due to merit and COLA adjustments, but those increases, you'll notice, are offset by changes in health insurance premiums. Increases in liability insurance relating to the town's decision to take on its own police department. That is normal. You'll see there, you know, it over doubled, which makes sense. There's going to be a lot more risk in that area, and so therefore insurance premiums will reflect that. But overall, the increases in the liability, repairs and maintenance, and capital are most of this year's budget's focus. I know that was a lot. Yes, sir.
Do you think that we should increase that to like 8.2 or 8.4% in order for it to, so that we don't get behind the 8 ball next year?
Are you talking about the millage?
Yes.
Well, you got a timeout because before this meeting, you already set a maximum millage rate. So before this meeting, we had to go to the state of Florida, and we had to tell the state of Florida probably in July timeframe that, hey, this is the maximum millage. So now the state of Florida says, okay, that's the maximum millage. So maybe not this year. I think we're stable this year. But in future years, and especially, you know, you have that dance with property values, right? We all hope that property values continue to go up and the millage rate can support that. Right now, it's a little bit too early to tell, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Nope. Okay, so then let's start with this adoption of the
We
tentative.
have one question, sorry.
Commissioner Hodgkins, just so you know, there are only 2 other municipalities in Broward County that have higher millage rates than us. That's raising the taxes if we go above 8.5. It's not something you want to do, and
No,
I
I
work
understand.
diligently on trying to get that down. So It's going up, it's not the direction you want to go.
Are there any other questions or comments? No. Okay, so then we're gonna adopt the tentative millage rate. Paul, you wanna read the whole thing?
A resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, adopting a tentative millage rate of 8.5000, which is 9.9% greater than the rollback rate of 7.7293 for the town's general operating fund for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2024, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date.
Oh, you just read the short. I thought you were reading the whole thing. Okay,
We don't have time.
I know that. Well, that's why I was like, wait, okay, let me see what his speed reading is versus mine. Next one. Okay, so open it to the public. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on the matter? No, we bring it back. We close the public hearing and bring it back before the commission. Is there motion? Motion?
Motion to approve
Resolution 2023 dash.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution.
I second.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor Morset. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs, Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. 5.2, General Fund Budget, Resolution Number 2023-015, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, officially adopting and approving the annual budget for the general fund for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, and appropriating the funds for the operation of the general fund for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I open a public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on the matter? Nope, I close the public hearing, bring it back before the commission. Go ahead.
I gotta ask the commission, is it the first time you've seen the budget, or have you actually sat down with the finance director and the
Yes.
town manager to review every aspect of this budget?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
All the commissioners have met with Roy in the past, and I've met with David.
Okay, well then I'm gonna say I have not. The last time I heard from the finance director was 7/21, and I have not sat down with the town manager. I have not sat down with the finance director. I have not even been reached out to discuss the budget and review the budget prior to this hearing. I cannot ethically vote for this budget on the fact that I have not even had an opportunity to review it. And this is the very, very first time I've actually seen the budget. I don't even have it in email. So just want to be clear on that.
Okay. So what we'll do is, David and Aleem, you guys will schedule a meeting with him to meet with him to go over the budget in detail?
Correct.
Okay. Is he allowed to abstain, or
No.
can he just vote no?
There's no
Okay, so then he can just vote no for it, and we'll just, okay. All right, so with that, we're still gonna move it forward. You can vote no, and then at the next meeting, if you change your mind, you can vote yes. All right, roll call. Was there a motion? Sorry.
No. We'll make a motion to approve resolution 2023-015.
I second it.
Okay, roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem. Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
I'd like to make a statement, if I might. I was talking to Roy before he left, and I asked him if everybody had been interviewed for the budget, and he told me everybody but Mr. Jacobs. And I asked him why, and he said that he called you, you didn't want to return his call, you didn't want to deal with him, so whatever the reason was. So he said that that was the reason, you just wouldn't get back to him.
In response to that, the last time I actually heard from Ray Brown, our former finance director, via phone was on May 5th. The town clerk sent me an email on June 28th, to give me 2 dates to meet with the finance director to discuss any proposals or anything that I'd like on the budget. those 2 dates are while I was out of town on vacation because we were on hiatus during that time. I have not heard from him since. I did not even know about his resignation until a commission meeting. So that did not happen.
Okay. Well, we'll schedule, can you please, at the end of this meeting, let these two gentlemen know what time and day you're available? That way we can make sure that we walk out of here knowing that it's scheduled. 5.3 Water Drainage Enterprise Fund Budget. Resolution of the Town of Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, officially adopting and approving the annual budget for the Surface Water Drainage Enterprise Fund, debt services for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, and appropriating the funds for the operation of the Surface Water Drainage Enterprise Fund, debt services for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I open a public hearing. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on the matter? Nope. I close the public hearing and bring it back before the commission.
Nope.
Motion?
Make a motion to approve a resolution number 2023-016.
I second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No. No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
5.4 Sewer Enterprise Fund, Resolution 2023-017, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, adopting and approving the annual budget for the Sewer Enterprise Fund for the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida for the fiscal year 2023-2024, and appropriating the funds for the operation of the Sewer Enterprise Fund for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I open a public hearing. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on the matter? Nope. I close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Motion?
Make a
I make a
motion.
motion resolution number 2023-017.
017.
017.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
5.5 Pension Trust Fund Budget, Resolution number 2023-18, a resolution of the Town of Pembroke Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, adopting and approving the annual budget for the Pension Trust Fund for the fiscal year 2023-2024, and appropriating the funds for the operation of the Pension Trust Fund for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-2024, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I open the public hearing. Anyone from the public wish to speak? I close the public hearing.
I make a resolution,
Motion to,
motion to number 2023-017.
No, 18.
Not that,
18.
1,
018.
18.
okay. Should I make it again?
Yeah.
Yes,
I make a motion resolution number 2023-018.
Madam Chair, and the motions
I'll
for
second.
correct?
Approval,
Clerk Commissioner?
Yes, motion for approval.
Okay. Any further discussion? Wait, you were asking me, who seconded it? Just
I
now?
did.
Bill, second.
Bill second. Okay. Roll call.
Oh, motion made by Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Acting Clerk Commissioner Krishem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
No.
Okay.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay, 5.6, reoccurring expenses, Resolution 2023-19, a resolution of Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, authorizing the payment of certain services, materials, and supplies which are procured on a regular and recurring basis for the fiscal year 2023-2024, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on the matter? If not, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back before the commission.
I make a motion for approval resolution number 2023-019.
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion? No? Those two.
I'm number 2.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Acting Clerk Commissioner Kasham, seconded by Vice Mayor Morset. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kasham.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay. Thank you. 5.7, resolution of the Town Commissioner of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, officially adopting and approving the annual budget for the Special Revenue Fund for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-24 and appropriating the funds for the operation of the Special Revenue Fund for the Building Department for the Town of Pembroke Park for the fiscal year 2023-24, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date. I open it to the public. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on the matter? Nope. I bring it back before the commission.
I make a motion for approval resolution number 2023-021.
I second.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Kasham, seconded by Vice Mayor Morset. Vice Mayor Morset,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kasham,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1.
Okay. Commissioner reports, are there any comments? Commissioner Jacobs?
Nope.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashim?
Nope.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
No.
Vice Mayor Morset?
No?
Myself? Nope. Attorney?
None.
Nope. Manager? Nope. Okay. Second hearing will be on Wednesday, September 27th at 6:00 PM. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I like.
Ha ha, 1 minute to spare.